Sometimes it is hard to know where to begin. You know, there's a little hidden thing that nobody's talked to about tonight, and it is the Republican Party thinks that they need this to survive. There are a bunch of idiots who run our party, if I'm a Republican, a bunch of idiots who think that deep inside of every illegal alien is a Republican trying to come out. And the people who are talking about fixing this bill that's in the Senate right now buy into the notion that it's possible to pick up a piece of fecal matter by the clean end. And you can't do that.
Yep.
The bill is so faulted from day one that you can't pick it up. Crap is crap.
That's right.
And it can't be fixed. This isn't comprehensive, this is reprehensive. Incidentally, we get into using all kinds of funny names. An immigrant. There's no such thing as an illegal immigrant except in Newspeak. And incidentally, what is today? I think it's the 64th anniversary of the release of 1984. So what we have is we've got Newspeak. If you're an immigrant, you came here like my grandfather. And my grandfather came here from Lebanon escaping the Ottoman Turks who were killing everyone who was a Christian. He was an immigrant. He came here. He learned English. He became a citizen as soon as he could. Part of being a real immigrant, according to our laws, are that you come here, you fill out the right papers, you come through the front door, you learn English, you adopt the culture, you respect this country. If you're called on to go to war, you go to war. What we have now is something totally different. And what we're also talking about, Bob mentioned a few minutes ago about going to our politicians. I'm going to tell you something. You'll remember this night for the rest of your life. And I'm going to tell you why. And all the politician representatives who are here, I want you to remember this too. Last year, at the state convention, Jerry Patterson, who was a hero to a lot of us, he presented this grand scheme and he really endorsed the Texas solution. Now, in many terms that are out there today, one of the most sacrilegious terms that I know of that goes around is called an altar call. Anybody know what an altar call is? An altar call is not what you think it is. It's not where you come forward and give your heart to the Lord at the front of a church. An altar call is where after a politician has done something that you want done, you collect money for him, like what a money bundler does. Well, Jerry went forward at the convention last year and did that. And a couple of days after he did it, guess what? They had an altar call for him. And when they announced it, they already had raised up around $75,000 or $76,000. Last week, Ted Poe, another hero, spoke to Houston Pastors Council and endorsed this bill. Guess what? You see this right here? This is his altar call request. How much have they already raised for him? $77,000. Asking for more. Apparently, they both got they're going to get at least $100,000 each. What they're not going to get is any cooperation from me. And they shouldn't get any cooperation from you. Guess what? We got a lot of these things from all over the state, from all over the country, from people who do this kind of dirty stuff. And we're going to out them because they've been bought into this bill one way or the other. You know, it may not be illegal, but sure as hell unethical in my eyes.
Yes.
Now, there's something wrong with rewarding 11 million lawbreakers. And since when do we reward people who cut in line? You know, most of the time if somebody cuts in line in front of you in traffic, you don't say, "Oh, bless you, you poor thing." What do? You call them what? You can fill it in yourself, okay? We do allow people seeking sanctuary to come into this country, but I'll tell you something, you won't like what's in this new bill. They take jobs that should be here for our people, but I'm going to tell you something that's really interesting. I could have a United States veteran standing here, 23 years old, with a college degree, who's lost a leg in Afghanistan or Iraq. And that young man or that young woman is second in line for hiring under the act that is being proposed. Because the people, as this act is written right now, illegal aliens who are seeking the amnesty and going through the process are not covered by the Affordable Health Care Act. That citizen is. That citizen goes into a secondary position to an illegal alien because an employer doesn't have to pay insurance on him. You think about that for a minute. The next time you see a wounded veteran, he is in number 2 position for a job. That bill is not tough on employers who hire illegal aliens. In fact, the bill exempts certain employers from existing penalties for hiring illegal aliens. It also delays the implementation of E-Verify to appease big business and illegal workers, and the bill provides that mandatory E-Verify won't go into effect for all employers for at least 4 years after Department of Homeland Security's issues regulations implementing the program. There are some people who are estimating that all of this could take 10 years before you ever see E-Verify. It doubles legal immigration within a decade after enactment and triples it if you include the 12 million amnestied illegal aliens. This is the equivalent of adding the population of Canada, nearly 34 million people, virtually all of whom will need jobs, in a decade. Moreover, this estimate relates to legal permanent residents only, not temporary workers. It increases the number of guest workers by 50% over the decade. It creates a new unskilled guest worker program through a new W visa to bring in up to 200,000 additional workers each year. It triples the number of skilled workers. It does fully bring into effect the DREAM Act. So anyone who tells you that it doesn't, it's in here, and I can give you the quote for it. Am I running out of time? I can't tell. Thank you. I will do some more. Thank you.